Waterway Art Association's 26th annual art exhibit and sale was hosted by the Hickman's Crossroads Library in Calabash, North Carolina. Held May 16th through the 19th, 2017, the exhibit enjoyed sponsorship from Brunswick Arts Council, North Carolina Arts Council, and Bellinger Artworks. There were two additional features. One, bin art provided for sale, including original and Giclée prints by the artists. And two, the small art raffle. Artists generously donated original 5x7 paintings to the raffle. Tickets were available and patrons could place their tickets in the bags corresponding to their favorite pieces. The winners were sure to be pleased since they had 32 paintings to choose from. This year's exhibit was coordinated by Connie Hoyt. The 2017 judge of the Waterway exhibit was Freeman Beard.
Hello everyone. We're here with Mr. Freeman Beard. We are he's just finished judging our 26th annual exhibit and sale. We thought we would go over his choices for all the different awards for this year and find out what his thought process is when he came about the winners that he selected.
I chose this for Best in Show because it got my attention immediately. I looked at it a lot, walked away, came back, looked at it some more, and came to the conclusion that all the odd perspective in there is meant to be, and the design is such that you never lose track of the painting itself. You always come back to the point of interest, and this is an important thing with the painting. And it's painted directly. I think it's painted very well, and I think it deserves Best in Show. I chose this painting as first place because it was so engaging. The second I saw the painting, it pulled me into itself, partly because of the interest of the child in the painting and the pride I saw in the father's face, and because of the fact that it was painted extremely well. I couldn't find anything really wrong with it, and so I finally decided that this was the one. It's a beautiful piece of work. I chose this painting because it is painted so directly. The person didn't think a lot about, is it right, is it wrong? He just painted, or she just painted it. And I love the subtle colors used, the contrast with the skies. In some cases, these are colors that you might think you wouldn't see that in the sky, but you do all the time. And this person has just captured, I think, the feeling that you feel when you look across the marsh and see those colors. I think it's done very well. I chose this painting because as I walked away from the painting and saw it with a different perspective, it started pulling itself together and it became very deep, and that you could see the dimension of the painting much better as you stepped away. I like the fact that the colors ramp from almost white to almost cobalt blue at the bottom, and yet the colors of the water lilies, the pads, hold the whole painting together. I think it's done very well. Painting watercolor directly, painting the essence of watercolor, meaning not to overpaint it, is very difficult to do, and this person has done that. She's painted wet into wet and made it all work very well. I think the colors work really well together, and she's carried your eye along with it. I think it's a beautiful job and a beautiful example of watercolor. One of the hardest things to do in painting watercolor is to keep from overpainting and to always try to leave some white in it if you can. It's hard to do, but this person has done it. It has a feeling of movement. If you throw your eyes out of focus or look through your eyelashes, you can almost see these clouds move. She's done a great job with the clouds, and it feels wet. It feels like it's been raining, and so it has a great feeling of atmosphere about it. I think it's very successful. I really enjoyed this painting. I think a good thing about an abstract painting is when it's interesting to you, it draws you into it, and your eye travels within the painting itself, so that you can focus on something and then travel and focus again. And I like the colors. I like the direction this painting travels, and I like the fact that your eye stops every once in a while to focus on things, but then continues to travel. And I think it's an excellent abstract. Having painted several lions myself as a result of a mission trip safari, I know the challenge of getting one right. This person has gotten this painting right. Especially the adult lion is very well done. I love the color she used in it. I think it's a very successful painting. This painting just makes you laugh. I think the person just painted joy. It's painted very cleanly. It's hard, especially with a child like that, it's hard to get the paint to flow around the face and to have it not be garish in some way. I think this is very well done, and everything else is painted directly. It doesn't look overpainted a lot. I think a very successful little painting. Painting in this style, which is almost a slapdash style, it's beautiful when it works, and this works, it really does. And she painted impressions in the face and in the hair that carries through. I think she did a great job. I like this painting because you're right up in this person's face, and when that happens, usually the painting is way overpainted, but not in this case. The person handled it very well. I thought they did a really good job with it, and I thought you get to know the person a lot better than you might like to because you're right in his face. But well done. Painting flowers without overpainting flowers and giving them a delicate feel is very difficult to do. And this person has done it. You actually see the edge of the flower, of the leaves especially, and it has a varied color, which makes it interesting. And by using these complements, the red and green, it causes the flowers to pop and for the green to move around. I think this is very well done. I like the depth in the painting too. She has enough shadowing back there, and yet you can still see detail in the shadowing. So it's still, I think, a successful painting with that. Painting in charcoal or graphite is difficult because you have no color to lean on. You're using your ability to color or to draw with black and white pigment and get the essence of the subject matter you're doing. I think this person has done this. I almost know this dog, and he has personality. I just think this is a very nice drawing. I think it's very creative in the way she sees herself and the way she put the paint down. It's nicely done. Something drew me to it immediately when I saw it. And I like her paintbrushes, and I like the fact that the eye moves through the whole thing, but you wind up in her face all the time, and I think that was the intention. Well done. This is an extremely washy painting. It's direct, it's getting the impression down and getting away and not mess with it anymore. I love the freedom of this painting. I think the person did a really good job. It's almost monochromatic, and yet it has enough red in it that it feels like it's full of color. So I think it was very well done. I like the style of this oil painting. It's a small painting, and yet it brings you into itself, and you can move about freely and feel the water and feel the foliage. I love the warmth of the paint he used and the fact that it was done very roughly and yet has all the nuance of foliage and water and splashing waves. I think it's very well done, and I think it works as an oil painting. This is an acrylic painting and is painted very loosely, and yet the person has managed to capture the essence of this face. I think it's done very well. It allows your mind to put a lot of image together, but I think it's done well. The face feels like it has shape. It feels like it has substance. You would almost know this guy if you saw him on the street, I think. First, my compliments to the Best in Show winner. This was a difficult show to judge because it has a lot of different subject matters, a lot of different mediums to work with, and I can tell that a great deal of focus and hard work has gone into a lot of these paintings. It is fun to judge a show because you realize how hard other artists have worked to try to do the same thing you try to do in the studio. So I will compliment you for the show, and I wish you the best of success with the show. Again, congratulations.
Freeman Beard is a signature member of the Watercolor Society of North Carolina, an associate of the National Watercolor Society, and a member of Durham Art Guild in Durham, North Carolina. He grew up in the foothills of the North Carolina mountains and studied at Ringling School of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida.